Hello. We'll give people 1 or 2 more minutes to get here, and then we will start having a lot of fun. Because that's what we do here on this channel. We have a lot of fun. Oh, so much fun. Okay, earlier we were doing this stuff where we looked up the SDK folders. Actually, let me update things to get the latest of the things. You always want to have the latest of the things, except for Steam. We don't want the latest Steam. They update too damn often. But for us, we want the latest things. Okay. So this morning we were doing stuff that enabled us to look up this Windows Kits thing. Unsurprisingly, it's not so simple. So we get to deal with a little bit of stuff. There's a minor problem and a major problem. The minor problem is the Microsoft tends to screw everything up. So we actually have this installed with the correct number. But if we go to Microsoft's website, the URL was here somewhere. No. Okay, it's not in this version, but Andrew Kelly linked me to a fix that they had, which I think their fix is backwards as well, but let me at least pull up the link. Okay, so here's an archive of all the Windows Development Kits downloads. And ignore this version 1803, that Microsoft seems to have typed in the wrong number. This is actually 17714 or something like that. These generally go in ascending order, right? 10586, 14393, 15063, which is what you expect and what we assume. But the first one is 26624 because the first one was really 10240, but they accidentally released it as 26624. Now, the question that I have is, if I install this, does it put, yeah, I mean, it seems to be 26624 here. So let's see. No. Look at all this garbage. So I want to know if it puts it under 26624 or 10 whatever. If it actually puts it under the file 10 whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. If it puts it as 26624, then we have to map the number to the correct one. Oh, but it gets worse. So the typing in the wrong number is the minor problem. The major problem is that when our intern at work was installing 177 whatever, it didn't have both of these folders in it that it's supposed to have. And nothing she can do is making both those folders appear. So then if we pick that as the newest one, you just can't compile because not everything you need is there. So we might have to do further validation. But she also has a 10240. 10240 only has the UCRT. It doesn't have the UM. I don't know if that's a different mistake or if they changed it in the middle of the sequence and there only was UCRT and then the stuff in UM is somewhere else. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what the right answer to this problem is. And that is really obnoxious. Okay, so my 10240 has both folders, but hers doesn't. My 5063 has both folders. Okay, all of mine have both folders right now. Oh, wait. That's because it was installing this on 10240 that it temporarily didn't have both folders. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, she like literally doesn't have both folders for sure. So here it says 26624, but the real number is actually 10240. So I'm actually not going to worry. That's actually correct on disk. The place it's wrong is just here and in the installer strings. But 10240 is the right number, I think. So we actually don't have to take action on that. We just had to investigate. So that's fine. That's fine. And we should be ignoring that one because 16299, etc. Yeah. Okay. Let me reply to him. Upon further investigation, it looks to me like 10240 is the right number. It was just mislabeled 26624 in the installer on disk. Disk is correct, so the code should do nothing. Unless the original installer put the wrong number on disk, question mark. Oh, God damn it, Twitter. Twitter just deleted my message because I clicked slightly off the... Oh, fuck it. Dude, computers are so bad. All right. Like I just typed in all those characters and I clicked a little bit on the gray and it took it away and I'll never have it again, I guess. God. All right. I was trying to communicate. So let me look at their workaround again. Yeah, I think the Zig code has it backwards. If they see 10240, they're mapping it to 26624, but I think it's the 26624 that is wrong. Like here's their code, if you can see this, right? This is not right either, and this is still not right. So, yeah, don't ever copy code off the web and expect that it's correct. Stack Overflow people. All right. Now, okay, that's one thing. I don't know what to do about if it doesn't have both folders. The thing is, on our intern's machine, she has two folders. Neither of them has both subdirectories. I have no, like we could just say, well, we could get one from one folder and one from the other one. But I have no reason to believe that that would work. That's like, seems very bad. So it's another case where I have no idea what to do. Like, there's literally no right answer. I'm trying to find a pen that actually works. Okay. The next thing to address is this morning, I did something that will never in reality be a problem, but it's technically incorrect and it's a little bit annoying. And that is, I wrote a little file visitor that would go find all these directories. But the file visitor doesn't have a way to only visit directories. God, this pen is sticky. It doesn't have a way to only visit directories. So it's either files or files plus directories. So I'm going to go in and just put in this, and here we're going to say, and we'll delete our robustness comment, and then we just have to do this. While true, if it's a directory, oh wait, I see. We actually, it used to be exclusive where we wouldn't visit the file if we visit directories. Oh boy. I actually would, ugh. You know what? Let's leave it the way it was. It's actually fine. So my code was actually correct. We don't need to take any action. That's good. Oh wait, too many arguments, right? So it's really visit directories and not files, or files and not directories, which I'm kind of okay with. Like, you can imagine use cases where you want both, but like, you know, you could write your own routine or use a different one in those cases. So that's another thing I don't have to do. I want a more satisfying pen. Dude, everything is wrong today. All right. Okay, we're really scribbling things out now. Why Vorbis over Opus for audio? Because initially I wrote the code before Opus existed. On the Witness, I tried Opus and I thought it was performing pretty badly. It was performing substantially worse than Vorbis for environmental sound effects that have a lot of energy in the noise bands. I talked to the Opus people on Twitter about that, and they seem to think that that shouldn't be true, but I was too busy to investigate further. But yeah. On-site interview with id. Okay. They're not called id Softworks, so don't say that when you go there. Yeah, Islands of Nine, it seemed like the game design on that game just needed to be different. Okay. So the next thing is this morning I added this registry stuff, and we only did reg open key and reg query value. And I think for compatibility, we will want to provide the A versions of these and also the non-EX versions, because people are going to use those probably. And so, you know, in general, we've had the attitude of deprecating the A versions of things and forcing you to use the W versions all the time, because you just, you know, you don't want to be using the A versions of things. But for registry keys, you control the whole key, right? It's not like a file name where there could be a user name in the file name somewhere. For this, you know the registry key, and so if you call reg open key XA, then that's probably fine. So let's try that out. So we're just going to pass this registry key into reg open key XA. Now the question is, can you open it in A and then access it in W? Let's find out. Okay, that seemed to work. And then well, does query value W, does that mean that any string gets returned automatically as wide? Like if I do this, does the data that I get back change, or is it only this part? Let's see. So for the A version, the value name is that. And the other reason I want to do this is because, hey, it's faster to not have to spam memory with that stuff. So we might as well make it faster if these are available and if we know that we absolutely don't need wide characters. Dynamically computed strings do not, oh, right. Okay. Nope. I don't know what is happening here. Let's see. Let's actually read the documentation. If the data has the reg SEs, Jesus. Okay. Oh God, the application should ensure that the string is properly terminated? What? Oh my God. Holy cow. And the ANSI version is used. The function converts the stored Unicode string to an ANSI string before copying it to the buffer. We actually want a wide string, so, well, we don't. Yeah, I mean, this could have Unicode characters in it. So we know the key can't have Unicode characters in it, but the value could. So we're just going to do that. Okay. Okay. That's fine. So we saved ourselves one UTF-8 to wide, but not two. Even though we know this key is ANSI, we don't know for sure. I mean, right now the value is going to be ANSI, but I don't know if they're going to put weird characters in their path name. It's Microsoft. They could do fucking anything, man. At this point, it's being run by I don't even know who at this point. So, that's all good. So now we have to deal with this thing where they're like, the documentation says that if the string for some reason is not stored with 0 termination, okay, so if buffs of length so I guess we do that. I don't know if that's right. Just started a video from 2015. Okay. Using the W versions, thought I wrote the 8 function specifically to replace both. Yeah, I started out a long time ago by writing the 8 functions, but then I decided it's not the right way to do it. Like I could see having a thing like that I use all the time for my own convenience or something, or even providing that library generally. But we need to provide a library with the actual Windows interface, right? Like you need to provide people the actual routines. You can't, I don't think it's a good idea to force people to go through an intermediary layer like that. So yeah, so I reverted that design decision. It just didn't feel right to me. Okay. So let's put this in a separate place, because this idea that you include windows.h and get frickin' everything is maybe not that good. So I'm just going to make a Windows registry. Maybe when we have module parameters, then it'll be a good idea to make that a parameter or something. But for now, this is what it is. So Windows registry. It's a little bit confusing. This is a Windows API interface module, but Windows Resources, which has a very similar name, is a higher level functionality module. Okay. So we are going to go, we're going to do the non-X versions now. And then I guess we have to do reg get value. So key, subkey, result. Key, subkey, result. Else status. Is there a reg close key? Or is there just not? Wait. What if I use reg open key? It says if it's opened by reg open key X, you need to close it, but oh God. What? Anyway. Okay. Oh, I need to have kernel 32. And then, since we don't need reg open key X, do we? We don't need to enumerate subkeys. Like, what even? I kind of feel like that Zig code was Stack Overflow in Origin. I mean, unless we need to provide a different security access mask. Let's find out. So reg open key A. This is a null, not a 0. Actually, let's just comment this out because we don't know what's going on. Reg open key A. Like, this is a pointer, right? I think. Oh no, that's the regsam, whatever the hell that was. Okay, anyway. So we want the key, which I guess is HKey local machine. The subkey, which is this string, and then none of this, and just that. Let's see if that works. And declare identifier reg open key A. Oh, because we don't have Windows resources. That's new. Still no reg open key A. Oh, not Win. I'm importing myself. Windows registry. Come on, bro. Okay. Unable to solve reg open key A inside kernel 32. Did they stop shipping it? It's an adv API. That's why. Okay. Okay. Well, do I think self-importing should trigger a warning? No. I mean, if you want to lint that yourself, it's fine, but the compiler shouldn't bother warning on that. So do I add this and say, hey, now you link against adv API if you use this library, or do I not? It's an interesting question. Right now it would mean I'm not going to do it yet, but it'll be impetus to do something. Okay. I don't want to include it right now because, hey, dumb library dependency. However, when we have lazy compilation lambdas that can easily be used to determine which dynamic libraries are actually needed, at which point you wouldn't get this dependency unless you compile code that may call the routine. Okay. So that's probably true also for reg open key W. Let's close the key. Oh, we got to go back. Got to go back to our old thing. All right, so we're still good. All right. So I think it's time to check this in. So the next thing to look at, so I still don't know what to do about that thing where not all the folders exist. So we're going to look into that situation a little bit more during the workday tomorrow to decide what to do. In the meantime, I am not going to change what we do to return those folders, but we might have to change the way it works. We might have to return multiple folders or something. I don't know. In the meantime, we can move on to the next part, because getting the Windows SDK was only part of what we need to do. We need to get the Visual C++ runtime as well. And you might think that that is also a registry query, but apparently no, it isn't. Apparently you only wish that was a frickin' registry query. So let's look at the Zig situation. I think that's not the one that we want to look at, though. I don't remember which of these is which. Maybe this is fine. Okay, so this is a different file that's just using hard-coded paths. So let me go find the original thing that was tweeted at me. It's here. Let's close some of these. Okay. Or maybe it's the same. I don't know. Like, he was saying something about a COM interface to do this. Wait, what? These are like... Oh, the red is the old... I don't know how to read GitHub diffs. Red means it was deleted probably, right? Yeah. Duh. The red was deleted. The red that I'm looking at is deleted, and this is like OS Find Windows SDK. Okay. Fine. I know how to program. All right. So this is the part that we did, finding the Windows SDK. Getting the VC runtime path is what we need to do. So we need to do all this com crap. And here's an incomplete comment. It's initialized 1 of VS 2017. But okay, we can... set up configuration pointer. Okay. And then we get all the instances. And then we get the installation path. Oh, what a garbage. Okay. And then they're just converting it to UTF-8 probably, or no, they don't even, they're just converting 2 bytes to 1 byte. So they're assuming there are no Unicode characters in the path. And then they're adding this whole situation. Now this is only for Visual Studio 2017 so far. If this fails, we probably need to do earlier. Oh my God, what is this? Querying for some Visual Studio side-by-side. Bull crap. I just don't even want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Why? Why is it 80 lines of code to figure out where the Visual C++ libraries are? Why is that? Have I looked into the ntdll function, ntquery multiple value key? Can't I just get rid of all that? Well, no, I can't get rid of... I mean, a lot of this is going to be terser. It won't be 80 lines when we do it, probably, but it's still just, I don't want to do any of this. I just want to know where the libraries are. I want to call a function called tell me where the goddamn libraries are, you idiot. And it just tells me. Like, what is all this? Maybe it's because Windows seems to keep multiple versions and some in WinSXS. Yeah, maybe. I don't even know what's going on here, honestly, right? There's a bunch of registry things happening. They're looking for 14.0, which is hard-coded to the newest Visual Studio. Which isn't even that helpful. Like, if they're just hard coding 14.0, that's not gonna work. Like, what about the earlier version? Let me see who calls this. That's it. So Visual Studio 2017 is version 14.0. So all of this code, I lied when I said it was only 80 lines, okay? It's not. It's from line 1104 to 1229. It's 125 lines just to get the folder for Visual Studio, for the latest Visual Studio. That doesn't even handle older versions, which we need to handle. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. After calling VC-vars, you have a lot of environment values you can look at. The whole point of all of this is so that we don't care about VC-vars anymore. We hate that. We want to get rid of it. It's really a problem. So the reason we're doing all of this is so that we can find this stuff without VC-vars. VS 2017 is version 15. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, okay, right. 2017, professional. I wish they had just one name for things so I didn't have to remember this. Okay. Anyway. Right, okay, so 2017 is version 15. 2015 is version 14. So I see, okay. Here, they search for a VC runtime at the place where the COM tells them. Okay, so this part is for the latest Visual Studio. This part is for, I think, 2015 only. So if the registry, if the COM thing didn't work for Visual Studio 2017, we fall back and try Visual Studio 2015, which is a totally different way of doing it. And then if that fails, I guess they don't do anything earlier than Visual Studio 2015? Maybe the folder structure is simple enough that we can just try different versions here. I don't know. How many years have I been programming? Depends on what you count as programming, but the answer is approximately 36. (2013) is version 13. It's a fixed point. Yes. Yes. You think 2017 redistributable comes with 2015 DLLs. But the concern here is we want this compiler to work I mean, ultimately, we want it to work with no version of Visual Studio installed at all. And I think we will be able to do that with no redistributable, I mean. I think we will be able to do that as long as you don't link stuff that requires the C runtime, right? If you just need kernel 32 or system DLLs, I suspect that we can just use the Windows SDK and be good. And in fact, I suspect we can even do without the Windows SDK, if I'm being honest, because I don't know, like if you're trying to link to, if you're trying to use kernel32.dll and you link kernel32.lib, I don't really know that kernel32.lib actually contains any information that is necessary, because you could certainly load kernel32.dll and do get proc address and get those routines and call them, right? So I think all kernel32.lib does is just says, oh, it's in the DLL. I don't think there's any useful information. There might be a little bit like old style linking formats tell you like, oh, this was the index in the thing. So in theory, they're slightly faster maybe, but the point is, I don't think you need that. And so I think when we get to the point where we're generating our own executable, we can just say, look, this is in kernel32.dll, trust me. And then we don't need either of these folders that we're going through so much pain, right? But it'll take a little bit to get there. So we're doing this for now. I've been full-time working on this since mid-2016, but it was a part-time project before that, since like September 2014. What's the connection between Visual Studio? The connection is that to build executables that actually run on Windows, you need to link against libraries. And you need to know where they are. Okay. VSware. Okay, this doesn't help me. This doesn't help me. Unless... I mean, first of all, what's the license on this? Note how they're justifying it already, which is bullshit. It doesn't facilitate anything, you jerks. And you spelled complemented wrong. See, an executable is not good. We need actual code. So, oh, it's MIT license. So we could look at the code and see what they do. Oh my God, look at all this source code. How many lines of code do you think this program is? The only job of which is to tell you where Visual Studio is located. This is exactly what's wrong with programmers today. Why is there JSON in this program? What is even going on? Where do I even look to find the part that actually looks for Visual Studio? No, there's no way I'm looking at this code. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. Oh, look, we have some actual code that actually does something. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Kernel 32.dll is what contains the get proc address, so you need it. Yeah, I believe we can get by without even linking kernel 32. Right, because I'm not talking about using get proc address to look up the symbols. I'm saying, yes, you can use them just with get proc address, but what you really do is you just write an executable file, and in the executable file you say, these things are located in this DLL, exactly like the linker would say if you linked it with the lib file. You just do that yourself. That's all. I'm not trying to avoid kernel 32.dll. I'm trying to avoid kernel 32.lib. Because the kernel 32.dll is going to be on the user's machine. Kernel 32.lib is not going to be on your machine unless you install the SDK. How often do I work on the compiler? Pretty often. Is it my main project? This plus the game are combined my main project. Oh my God. This is completely insane. So, I mean, what I really want to know now is, hey, what registry keys is this looking up to try to figure out older versions of Visual Studio? I can't find that information from here because this is just all boilerplate garbage code that doesn't need to exist. What matters is, hey, what am I passing to registry reg query value? Oh, wait, the way they have this factored, I can't tell, right? So I have to go like search for callers of try get legacy instance, I guess. In GitHub's interface. And if I don't want to do that, then I have to contaminate my machine by downloading this to it. These are all prototypes. Oh, dude. They call this exactly one time. They call this exactly one time. Oh, but of course, all right. So all they're doing is they're looking for these, which is like at that point, okay. At this point, it's going to be easier to just look at the Zig code because the Zig code is at least made by people trying to write a reasonable program. This is just bananas. This is just a lot of nothing. A lot of nothing. Just this one file is 335 lines, and there were like 50 files. Like, how long is this program, the job of which is to tell you what folder to look in for Visual Studio? Like, was this guy's summer project? Like, what's going on? Yeah, I just don't even I just don't want residue of this to be on my hard drive in any way. You know, like when SSDs overwrite sectors, maybe not all the old data is gone. So, oh my God. Okay. My eyes. Okay. We're going to go back to the Zig one, except the one useful piece of information we got out of this is that these are the legacy versions, 14, 12, 11, and 10. So, you know, we can do the Zig code thing over these versions, and that gives us all the old Visual Studios. for a while. I mean, there certainly were Visual Studios before 10, but whatever. It's already in my Chrome cache. Oh, I'm going to hope Google. Oh, someone's telling me it's 10,000 lines. This program is 10,000 lines. 10,000 lines to tell you where. Like, how does this guy write the summary for this thing? Like, he's got this GitHub page for VSware. How do they put up this 10,000 line program and not feel the need to comment on the fact that it's 10,000 lines? This is Microsoft official, right? How do they not say, our apologies that this program is so goddamn long and complicated? They just have no, they think this is normal. They think there's no problem with this. 15,000 downloads. Whoever just told me how long this was contributed to this download stat. Oh, 453,000 NuGets. I don't know if this gets automatically included with something or whatever. Oh my God. How much does practical math matter for programming as opposed to math theory? It depends on what kind of programming you want to do and what level of math you're saying is practical math. Like, I'm sure you know how to add. That's practical math. So where are you drawing the line of what's practical and what's not? They use the Chrome extension that tells you how many lines are in a GitHub repo. Okay. Like calculus. Well, if you want to make video games as a programmer, you probably, especially if you're going to do graphics, you probably should know basic calculus. Like, that's just... Like, you should know it well enough that you kind of know how calculus works. You don't have to remember like how to integrate 10 trillion different things or whatever. I don't remember that. But, you know, I know what integration is, and I know in what cases it can be used, and I know what differentiation is, and I know how it works, and like, you need to know that stuff. Yeah, linear algebra is even more important, right? I just said calculus because someone in chat said calculus, but if you're going to make games, you absolutely need to know linear algebra or you can't program games. Maybe you could do 2D bitmap games without linear algebra. You can't do a 3D game without linear algebra. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, this is an official Microsoft program. This is their idea of what is good. That's also why there's propaganda here about why it's okay that they made this so much more complicated. Okay. Okay, let's go back to this code at least. The Zig code, I think Zig looks pretty verbose to me. Maybe it's just that every time they do a string, they like allocate a buffer or whatever. That's just the style of that language. It's fine. But this is at least code that's trying to do the job that it's trying to do, right? Unlike that frickin' thing we were just looking at, which is just a lot of nothing. Like this, I can look at this code and I understand what it's trying to do. And it's clear to me that it actually intends to do the job straightforwardly. Like it wants to do the job and it wants to not waste time doing the job. Whereas that Microsoft code, oh my God, they just, they're in a different ballpark. And I didn't even look at like more than 5% of that code, by the way. So I don't even know what's in there. Okay. Okay. And even this, like, my code would be terser on the page just because I wouldn't put braces around a go-to or whatever, you know. I value vertical space, but it's logically, you know, like even though my code would be fewer lines because of stuff like this, and because the string allocations wouldn't like be several lines each or whatever, it's still in principle, if I wanted to do exactly this task, the code would structurally be like this, you know. It wouldn't be like that crazy Microsoft situation. Okay. So I guess we go, this is the base for all the versions. And then I guess we can do 14, 12, 10, whatever. Let's see if we can do the registry version. Because if we don't have to do the COM version right now, can I not? It said no matches found for regedit, but I ran it. Okay. HKey local machine, software, Microsoft, Visual Studio, 14.0, VC. Do I have that Visual Studio installed? I don't think so. So I think it's correct. Whoever said that Visual Studio 2017 installs the 2015, maybe that's fine. And for now, we don't need to do the 2017 stuff. Maybe our policy is we just link against the 2015 libc, and that's fine for now. And we deal with the 2017 later. Runtimes x64. Right, so they search for 14.0. If they find that key, they get the value. Into what, if you get the value, I don't know how registries go. If you get the value here, what does that mean? But then they seem to be, they're getting the buffer. I mean, are they just getting, I guess they're reading this and it's value not set for me. So maybe this won't help. VC, runtime. Yeah. Maybe it won't work for me. Look at Visual Studio key. Nothing. No value set. Is it just checking for existence? No, they're actually getting the value of 14.0 into or they're getting the length of the thing. Right. So this is the two-pass situation where they're asking what's the length of the value? And okay, then we allocate the pointer or the buffer of that length, and then we get the string. So they're getting a path from this key called 14.0. And I don't have any value for that. So it's not going to work for me. All right. That's extra annoying because then I can't test this version on this machine without installing 2015. So I guess we're going to try to do the annoying COM thing. Can't believe Windows is making me do this. Microsoft. I know Ignacio made it co-initialize. I don't know where it lives. What? Maybe he did it a different way? So he's got like I unknown. All right, that's in Windows. We've got all this ugly stuff. All right, so we need this thing. I set up configuration pointer. What is that? That's just in some header file, I guess. We need to know. We need to know all this stuff. The UUID of setup configuration. Oh my God. Where does this come from? They have a windowscom.hpp. How do I search for a file? Maybe this is a thing. Is press T where you see all the files. Yeah. this looks like a partial list. But anyway, I think the Windows COM thing. Oh, look, there it is. Google gave it to us. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. I don't want to lose that. Look at all this terrible garbage. Okay. That's the UUID of setup configuration. I don't know which one of these. Oh, it's the same. Okay. All right. So let me just try doing some of this craziness. So we're going to have find Visual Studio in a ridiculous garbage way. We're going to have iSetup configuration is a struct. And then we need the methods. Like, yeah. So we're going to need to know what an iSetup instance is. Going to need to know this. That's all that is. But we need more types. We need this and this. Oh, shoot, I didn't get the UUID. Hold on. I don't know which format I'm going to want this in, so... We'll just copy both just in case. What does Ignacio do for that? Oh, he just puts the UUID in there. Okay. And then how do we use that? So much Direct 3D 11. I just want to know. Oh. I don't really know where the UUID gets used. Maybe you just say that .uui. Maybe this is just for convenience. Okay. Anyway, enum setup instances. Whoops. Just go backwards one. Frickin'. Okay. Okay. The indentation here is all whack. Maybe he's using tabs that GitHub doesn't understand or something. Oh, U32. Okay, well, that's great. Hope I don't mess any of this up. And then, wait, that was enum setup instances. Not, okay. And I'm not even done. There's this next here. Okay, first of all, this goes here, so that would have been a big mistake. Hope somebody caught that. What the hell is outrights to? What is all this? Is that like code correctness checking? Okay, there we go. Okay, and then the other one is iSetup instance. Whoops. Okay. Oh, this has more methods. Yay. Yay, we like those. Not. Why the frickin' XML in your comments? Okay. What the hell is a beaster? I assume that that's just a 16. I don't actually know. The hell is a beaster? You know what? I don't even know. I don't want to know. It's just something. A beaster is just something. I guess I'm going to have to figure it out later because I want the installation path. So but I don't need it yet. Oh, it's a liquid. I remember liquids. I bet Ignacio defined beaster in... Nope, no frickin' beaster. All right. Is that like something for the Beastmaster? Foreign. LP Colster? The hell is a Colster? It's like the coal train from Gears of War. The fuck? Com little endian string? Is that what that means? Beaster stuff. And a beaster is a pointer to look into the string length is stored with the string. I see. So the first 4 bytes is the length. All right, that's fine. We can deal with that. That's actually a reasonably sane thing. I am shocked. Wait. Do I want that to be pointer U16 or... why do I have so many windows now? Let's get rid of VSWare. I don't ever want to hear about that again. Pointer to WChar. All right, it's fine. The Beastmaster. It's almost time for me to go in a little bit. We don't have the coal train. Not cholesterol. Did I transcribe that correctly? LP Colster. Oh, it's Olay. LPC Olay string. Okay. All right. Well, this garbage compiles. All right. What library is this? Olay 32. God, why are you doing this to me? Olay 32. If they didn't have so much code, we wouldn't need all this stuff. Oh my God. All right. Olay is officially capitalized. All right. We need co-initialize X. We need co-uninitialize. That's fine. Co-initialize X. Great. Reserved and must be null. Thanks, Microsoft. None of these are going to matter today at all. I sure hope these are 0, 1, 2, 3. When you're defining an API and you don't even see fit to assign the numbers in your enum, that's just, oh my God. All right. So, well, thankfully it's about time for me to go. So let's just check in this. Part 1 of ridiculous garbage. Okay. some people think this is just what programming is, right? Some people do this all day and they're just like, yeah, that's programming. Okay. Let's at least try to go a little bit forward before I sign off. So we've got all this stuff. Now keep in mind, all we're trying to do is ask Visual Studio, where do you live? That's it. That is all we are trying to do. It used to be very easy to do that. Well, it used to be substantially easier. I mean, this is still ridiculous, but the fact that this is even worse, I don't even know what to say. Okay. Okay. Find Visual Studio in a ridiculous garbage way. Let's go back to the zig situation. Oh, is this the wrong? They're searching for VC runtime dot. Okay, so they call co-initialize X. And then what is SOK 0? SOK is 0. All right. So let's use SOK. I don't know if we defined that. Like if you're gonna have the Windows garbage, you might as well use the Windows garbage. Okay. Co-initialize X. We have done that. Now what? We make a setup config. We create instance. How do we do that? Or do we do that? I don't even know. So we create instance of whatever. Let me search for .uuid. DXGI. DC, really? And DXGI. All right, well, I guess we do it this way. Let's say this, UID is, what are we trying to create? Setup configuration. It's probably just going to say it's an array of n things. Oh. I set up configuration. All right. I didn't, oh, we're never calling this. So now we go here and we say, find Visual Studio in a ridiculous garbage way. And well, did co-initialize fail? False. Co-initialize X. Do you not call that anymore? Maybe the compiler already called it, so you don't call it? Subsequent valid calls return false. Okay. Thanks, Microsoft. That makes a lot of sense. All right, find Visual Studio true. Okay, UID is a GUID with some numbers in it. It's probably fine. Okay. Well, we need to call create instance. I don't think anyone calls that. OSX, that's going to be some macOS create instance. That's a different thing. Well, we can certainly call that. Setup config is iSetup. We don't have iSetup configuration putter. Is that a different frickin' thing? I assumed that this was just a type def of a pointer to this other thing. If this is a whole separate class, which I'm starting to suspect it is, no. So then what? Like, he's dereferencing this. But what is it? What is it? Oh, it's like a smart pointer that he's defining or something. I should just be able to call co-create instance, right? This is going to be something he's doing. All right. It's time for me to go. Look at all this. Wait, that's the other stuff. We're not even doing anything yet. And we've typed in all of this, and it took substantial archaeology to even get this. We're not even doing anything yet. All right. Co-create instance returns an H result foreign. I'm going to assume that's also Ole32. Because why not? Ole! What is a ref IID? I don't know. Ref class ID. probably don't have all those. Oh, nope. Ref clis ID, it just never ends. What is a ref clis ID? It's an IID. I doubt I have IID, but maybe I do. LP unknown. Type def I unknown star. Why not just say that? You guys are so stupid. Hey, we had IID. Okay. So how do I get a ref clis ID? I don't even know what that is. We know the second argument is going to be null. Co-create instance something null. What is the context? Ah! Local. Just normal. How do I say normal? Oh my God, you people are killing me. Will you be able to use this to mod games if you want to hook a C++ function with a specific calling convention? Yes, you can call into and out of C and C++. Yes, you can. Okay. This is terrible. 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 So which one of these do I want? I don't even know. I have no idea. All I want to do is say Visual Studio, what folder? 4 words. 5 words. Hey, Visual Studio, what folder? That's all I'm trying to do. Class.Kitix inprox server is normal. All right. Random person in chat tells me this. So we'll do that. So we'll co-create instance with, I don't know, null, that, and the RIID, which I don't know what that is either. Reference to the identifier of the interface to be used. Do I have to construct an interface? It's a pointer to an IID. Does that mean they're returning me an IID? I don't know. They don't speak English here at Microsoft. Address of pointer value that receives the interface pointer requested in R. Oh, no, no. Okay. Contains the requested interface pointer. Okay, so this would be the address of oh, is this IID the GUID of the thing I want to create? Is that what that is? And then the address of this is going to be, what are we even trying to do at this point? I set up configuration, right? Okay. You need the class ID. What is the class ID? Is that this UUID here? Because we have that. Is that this? I don't even know. If I called com routines all the time, I would know. I don't know. My eyes are glazing over already. Each COM class is identified by a class ID, a unique 128-bit GUID, which the server must register. Okay, so that's this thing, right? So then what's the, is this giving me back an IID? And oh, no, 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 no. That's a different, that's an interface on the class. Does this define IIDs? This is just externing them all. So I don't know what those values are. Whoops, not that one. I think I need to do that because it wants a pointer to the IID. Well, it definitely is time to go now. All right. Next stream, which may be later tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, I will try to figure out what this IID is, and then we will figure out, is that just in the lib? Wait. This looks exactly like the GUID. If that's the GUID, yeah, that's this one. So then what's the first argument? What's the class ID? I don't know. I don't know the difference between these two things. All right, everybody, thank you for stopping by. I hope this has been very entertaining. Class ID is which DLL to load. The class ID is in windowscom.hpp. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. But it does indicate that it's somewhere. He's just externing it. Well, we just need to figure out what that is. Why do you need that and the GUID? I don't get it. Okay, thanks everybody. The question for next time is kind of like who is John Galt? It's what is class ID setup configuration? And why should I care? All right, let's find someone to host. Yeah, I was supposed to leave like 20 minutes ago or even 30 minutes ago, but I just love playing with comms so much. Well, let's look up a game dev development. Painting. No, we want programming. We want programming. I don't see code on any of these, except maybe that. Okay. I guess indie game developers can't program anymore, so that's why you never see them programming. We could go to this dude again. Learning Go and GraphQL. Doing some of the codes. Discord API. JavaScript. We don't host JavaScript here unless I'm too tired to notice that it's JavaScript. Okay, Linux OpenGL. We'll go there. Hopefully this person... Oh, geez, their bitrate is so low. Senior software engineer in action. JavaScript. No good. Okay, yeah, the pickings are slim today. This Croifa person is at least doing OpenGL. So we'll do that. Maybe see you all later tonight, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Have a good evening.